Hello everyone, I'm Paramjit Kaur and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. Today's video is going to be very important in case if you're dreaming about coming to Canada through express entry streams. The main questions that will be answered in today's video are going to about what is a CRS score, how it can be increased, and how you should get started in case if you're thinking about coming to Canada through express entry, and why the language scores are so important. So stay tuned, watch the video till the end. Okay, so let's get started. So the first question is, what is the CRS score? CRS stands for Comprehensive Ranking System, and this score decides at what place your profile is in the express entry pool. Higher is the ranking, more are your chances to get selected. Second is how you can ensure that you are higher in the ranking, how your score can increase. There are various methods through which it can be done. In today's video, I'm going to talk about something that is possible for everyone, I would say. That is by increasing your language scores. However, in addition to that, there are other methods like getting a provincial nomination, getting an LMIA approved eligible job offer from Canada, and there can be some other factors as well, but their score addition is not going to be very large. So in case if you're thinking about making the express entry profile, how you should get started, I'm going to say my own experience, and this is what I suggest everybody to get started with. So the first thing, you must get a language test score, for example, the IELTS score, and I would make an effort to get at least CLB 9, that is IELTS 8777. When I say 8777, that stands for 8 in listening and 7 in all other skills. For example, 7 in speaking, 7 in writing, and 7 in reading as well. 8 is required in listening. Why that is so important, why 8777 is such a number, why everybody is, trying to get that by taking the IELTS test again and again, that you're going to see somewhere in the end of the video, how that is going to drastically change your score. So let's get started. Let us talk in detail about the CRS scores. So in the CRS factors, if you're applying as a single person, never married kind of situation, or in case if you're going to show that your partner or your spouse is not going to accompany you to Canada. In those situations, you're going to get up to 500 points for the core human capital. That includes your age, your level of education, your language ability, and your Canadian work experience, etc. Another 100 point you can get for the skill transferability factors. This is something where your language scores are going to be considered once again in case if you want to include your Indian experience. Another 600 point you can get for additional factors. So those factors are going to be in case if you have a provincial nomination, or if you have a valid job offer, that must be LMI approved job offer, or if you have a Canadian study, if you have done some degrees from or some diplomas, some certificates from Canada. And finally, in case if you have some sibling in Canada, or if you have French language ability. So these things are going to decide your score in the CRS. What if you are married or your spouse, your common law partner wants to come along with you to Canada? In those cases, 40 scores from your core human capital factors are going to be distributed towards your spouse. If your spouse cannot get the same scores as yours, so there is a possibility your score is going to decrease. It may remain the same in case if the language, education, work experience, etc. of your spouse is of the level as that of yours. So in that case, in case if you were applying as a single, you got 500 maximum for the core human capital scores. But here you're going to get 460 if you're coming as a couple. You're going to get 40 remaining scores as a core human capital factors of the spouse or the common law partner. And another 100 points you are going to get for your skill transferability. That's same as that of in case if you come single or you come as a couple. And finally, 600 points going to be there for the additional factors like PNP nomination, job offer, etc. So these factors are going to decide your placement in the CRS grid. Higher is your position in that ranking, more is going to be your chance to get selected, to get an invitation to apply. And if you get an invitation to apply, so it's a happy news. Now you have to just submit your documents. If all your documents are authentic, you are going to get PR in the due course, which is going to be somewhere between 6 months to 1 year or above, depending upon your complexity of the case. Okay, so now the next thing that we are going to talk about, the factors, how can we increase a CRS score? So first is we can improve your education. Since you get the score for your education, if you improve your education, definitely your CRS will boost. But the score increase is not going to be very high unless if you get a Canadian education. Otherwise, the score increase is small. Second is if you get an LMI approved job offer. So in LMI approved job offer, there are skill level 00. There are 6 occupations for which which are going to be senior managerial positions. For them, if you get the LMI approved job offer, you're going to get 200 points here. For other level O, A, B jobs, you're going to get 50 marks, 50 scores for CRS. Another is you can look for a PNP program which require your skills. In case if you get the PNP nomination, that's going to be a jackpot. You get 600 points straight in your express entry CRS score. And for sure, in the next draw, you get the invitation to apply. And finally, this is something that everybody can do, even if you do not have a job offer, even if you do not get a provincial nomination, etc. Language scores. So language scores are very important. I'm going to show that in the coming slides, why that is going to be a deciding factor. So I'm going to take the example of a person who is between the age 20 to 29. The person is single and is having 2 or more degrees. For example, this person is having BSc, MSc. So that is not the master's equivalency, but that is, considered 2 or more degrees by BES, for example. And that person is having 3 or more years of work experience from India. So in that case, if that person gets the IELTS 6666, that is CLB 7, so for that score, for age, that person gets 110, level of education 128, official language, that person gets 68. Skill transferability include your language and education, you're going to get 25. Now, this is something where I want you to focus on. Skill transferability include your international education and experience, but these 2 factors are going to be considered along with your language skills. If you get 6 each in IELTS and you are having education of BSc, MSc or BCom, MCom, you're going to get in this factor only 25 scores. And your experience of 3 or more years is also going to get only 25 scores. So experience is not a separate factor. It's experience along with language. Now, let us consider the example of the same person, but now that person has made an effort, has gone to some good training institute of the language, and has got a good score, 8777. Now, this is CLB 9 score. Here for age, there is no change. For education, there is no change. But look at that. Official language score has increased from 68 to 124. You can imagine it's a big jump. That's at one place where that thing has happened. Look at the skill transferability factors. Language and education, earlier you were getting 25, now you got 50. Language and experience, earlier you were getting 25, you got 50 again. So the total score with 6 each in IELTS was 356, but with IELTS 8777, you got 462. That's a huge jump. So that is going to be the deciding factor. That's why I was saying language scores are very important. In case if you cannot, if you think it's becoming challenging, make it sure you meet the ICANN Institute, you go to ICANN Institute for Warachong Kapurthala, from where I also got 8777. And not only me, there are dozens of such examples of people, those who have got 8777 from there. So thank you very much for watching the video. Stay tuned.